In today's economic storm, people's retirement accounts are being devastated. Consumers are searching for a safe place to put their money. Are you feeling the same? If you are, please get ready to listen and learn about a new concept that will give you financial security and peace of mind. Now, here is the host of Become the Banker, certified financial planner and award-winning author, Joseph Quijano.
Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning this beautiful Monday. And thank you for being with us. And I want to welcome also my son, Jordan Quijano. He's with me today. And we're going to be talking to you about something that is really, really, truly important. And that is retirement planning. Everybody wants to retire. They want to be able to reach those golden years and not have to worry about where their income is going to come from. Unfortunately, though, there are many, many retirement myths, or actually people get confused. I mean, there's a lot of talk about products. There's a lot of talk about financial planning. There's a lot of talk about retirement planning. There's a lot of books. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of books, and everybody has a different opinion as to what to do when you reach those golden years. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm going to dispel some of the myths surrounding retirement planning. And what I want you to understand is one thing. Here in the United States, Social Security was actually enacted in the 1930s. And people during that period of time in the 1930s, their life expectancy was 55 years of age. And the day or the date that the government structured the law of Social Security to be active was at the age of 65. So think about it. They did not expect Social Security to pay out because most people were going to be dead before age 65. So what has happened lately is that longevity has really increased. And we're living longer and longer and longer, which is a good thing. I really enjoy life. So, I really, really think it is phenomenal that we're living longer. And right now, the average life expectancy is in the 80s. Now, most people that we talk with, they believe that Social Security is the only source of income that they should have. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Social Security was supposed to be a complement, a supplement to any other retirement program. Believe that Social Security, number one, is going to be there when they retire. And number two, that's all they're going to need. Now, I want you to know one thing. Social Security here in the United States is actually becoming broke. Why? What I said at the very beginning. In the 1930s, people were living to age 55. So Social Security did not expect to pay out. So the government has been using the trillions of dollars on this Social Security fund for other things like war, beefing up the military. So right now, Social Security is hurting financially. Now, everybody that gets Social Security or they receive a check, they get a check stub. In the check stub, they have a disclaimer. Social Security has a disclaimer saying that by the year 20, listen to this carefully, 2024 is going to be a drastic change because they're not going to have enough money to pay out the benefits. Why? Because they use the money for something else. However, though, the money that most people get from Social Security, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to actually do anything with. I mean, right now, from what I've seen anyway, the Social Security benefits that I'm seeing with my clients, they're less than $3,000 per month. Now, I don't know about you, but could you live on $3,000 per month? I know I couldn't live like that. You know, when we want to retire, we want to be able to have the same lifestyle. We don't want to fail financially and reduce our lifestyle, do we? But I mean, $3,000 or less, it's not going to cut it. It is not going to cut it. Jordan, have you seen this phenomenon with your clients as well?
Yeah, no, you're hitting it right on the head. It's something that today's world, unfortunately, people aren't putting enough money away to retire on, so that they're trying to rely on Social Security as their only source of income. And just like you said, it's never been meant for that. It's only been meant to be a supplement to your retirement income. It's meant to be addition to your 401ks, to your Roths, to your 401k plans altogether. And it's just sad because the average baby boomer that's retiring today has less than $150,000 saved in their 401k when they hit the age of 65. So that means people that are retiring today and that are retiring at 65 to 67, most of them have under $150,000 to carry them for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's just not possible. I mean, you could wipe that 401k in about 2 years, maybe 3 years if you're really stretching it, and then you only have Social Security from that point on, which who's to say it's going to be there for another 20 or 30 years? I mean, truly, or at least at that amount. So it is a huge concern that we see all the time with clients that are just coming in for the first time to meet with us, that they have nothing else built up. And this is why you need to balance your portfolio, have other areas that are building you money, have other areas that are giving you guaranteed income. So that way you can pool it all together at the end and have maybe three or four different income streams, not just one. And that's what we focus on at Become the Bankers, helping you build more than 2 to 3 income streams. And that's where you're going to have that peace of mind, knowing that if you do live to age 80 or 90 or to 100 or however old, you don't have to worry about relying on family members to help support you. You don't have to worry about selling your home or going on a reverse mortgage because you don't have any more money. I mean, this is a huge issue we see in the day to day right now.
Absolutely. And one thing that I just read this morning while I was doing the research for the show, according to the Transamerica Retirement Center, guess how many baby boomers are turning 65 years old per day? Any idea? 10,000 baby boomers are turning age 65 every single day. You got to remember that here, the baby boomer generation is one of the biggest generations that we have had. It's huge. And right now, 10,000 every single day are turning 65. And guess what they're collecting? Social Security. So are you able to see the the financial devastation that Social Security is facing? So just like my son Jordan said, Is it going to be there? Who knows? So if you're counting on only having Social Security for your retirement, I think most people that rely on something like that are going to have a pretty sad way of life. You know, they're going to have to rely not only on their Social Security, but on welfare, the government, friends, and charity for their support. That's no way to live. So I am 100% in agreement with my son that we need to build many income streams. So when you get ready to retire, Social Security may be only one of them, and probably the most insignificant one. So you need to build other pools of money during your working years. So when you're ready, you're going to have like maybe two or three financial rivers that will actually give you the pool of money that you'll need to retire. Now, one of the biggest myths that we've been talking about already is Social Security. You know, relying on Social Security, only on Social Security. Now, the second myth that I want to talk to you about is actually the products that a lot of people are promoting. And frankly, I believe that consumers are getting totally confused. They don't know which way to turn. You know, some financial planners, they claim that the only way to have a great retirement is actually to invest in the stock market. And right now, the stock market here is very, very volatile. I mean, you know, it's been down. Then the news about the COVID vaccine that's 90% effective, they claim, was made up news channels. Guess what? The market went up. But something could trigger maybe a war threat with another country. The market will come down. So this volatility, it's really affecting not only people that are getting ready to retire, but people already in retirement. Think about that. If you're collecting a check from Social Security and you're collecting an income from your investments in the stock market, and the market happens to crash or to go down, that is going to affect the income stream that you're getting from the stock market. So I truly believe that consumers today are totally confused by the products that many financial advisors are trying to push because they're making money. They're not looking for the client's best interest. They're looking for their own interest. If they make a sale on their product, they're going to get commissions and fees, and that's what they're after. The consumer ends up losing. But sometimes it is too late. Because, I mean, if somebody's already in retirement, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it is not the way to plan for the future. So we labeled this show today the good, the bad, and the ugly of financial products for retirement. And we're going to be talking about those products, and we're going to give you some solutions to those products that could help you have a really good retirement. So for the time being right now, I want you to concentrate that there's no easy answer. And if you believe everything you hear or see, more than likely you're going to get confused. And if you rely only on the government programs, it's not going to work, because who knows what's going to happen in the future. I know for a fact that here in the United States, we've been bailing out companies like the airlines, the restaurants during this pandemic. I mean, we have spent trillions of dollars, trillions of millions of dollars as relief because of this economic meltdown that we're having. Who's going to pay for that? Taxes. So, is it going to be enough? Are you going to have enough money? Are you going to feel comfortable? Are you going to feel confident during those golden years? So, what I want you to do is I want you to stay tuned because we're going to be talking about some phenomenal products. We're going to be talking about some answers that you need to know so you can have a wonderful retirement. So we're going to take our first break right now, but we'll come back in just a short time. Thank you for listening, and we're glad that you're here with us.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Become the Banker Show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also ask or comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, welcome back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm glad that you're still with us this morning. We're going to be talking to you about some answers that you need to know about retirement planning and actually dispelling some of the myths that most people have about products that some people, some financial advisors claim that they will actually give you a wonderful, confident retirement. So what I want to do right now is I want to basically talk to you about a couple of things, okay? Some of the things that people rely upon when they retire. Number one, I don't know if you remember this, but many years ago, companies that you work for used to give us what they called a defined benefit plan. Defined benefit plan. Or another word for that would be pension. They would give you a pension. So they would actually hire you and they will say, hey, look, if you stay with our company for so many years, when you become 65, we're going to give you a pension or a paycheck that could last for the rest of your life. Now, you don't have to contribute into the plan. We, the company, the employer, we as your employer will actually contribute every single penny into the plan. You don't have to do anything. We, the employer, will take on all the risk about choosing the proper investments to make sure that we have enough money to pay you for the rest of your life. What an incentive. What a great, great way to motivate an employee For many years, that was the case. But today, what has happened? You don't see those plans anymore. If you do, they're few and far apart. Employers, the government has actually changed those plans, or they have replaced the defined benefit plan with what they call a defined contribution plan, better known as a 401k here in the United States. 401k. So you go to work for an employer, you go to work for a company, and that company will tell you, hey, we have a benefit. You can participate in what we call a 401k. Now, you can pay as much as you want to. You can contribute. And maybe we'll match you. Some companies will match up to maybe a percentage, like maybe 4% or 2% or 3% of whatever your contributions as an employee that you make. Some companies, guess what? They don't match you at all. They give you zero. So all you're doing as an employee, as an individual, you're contributing into the plan. Now, they'll say, here is a list of investments that you can choose to put your money into. You see, they have actually taken away the responsibility of their shoulders, the employer that is, and they have placed that responsibility on your shoulders, because now you have to contribute into the plan. The employer has a choice to match you or not match you. You then take the entire risk of choosing the investments for the plan. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know too many people, okay, that are so investment savvy, so intelligent about investments, that they know exactly what to choose to put their money into. As a certified financial, it's called the water cooler effect or the water fountain effect. So you go to work for this company, they'll give you this packet. You have to choose your investments. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You don't know what investment, you don't know anything about stocks, bonds, mutual funds. You don't know that. So you know what you do? You go to the water cooler. Somebody's drinking water and you ask them, hey, when you were hired, what did you choose for your 401k? That's the way people are choosing their investments today. I mean, think about that. If you go to work for a company when you're 25 years old, are you going to know everything about investing? So employers have taken the opportunity to change from a wonderful defined benefit, from a wonderful pension, where you, the employee, did not have any risk. You didn't have to contribute anything, and you were guaranteed a retirement check for the rest of your life if you stayed with the company for so many years. And they have taken that away and replaced that with a defined contribution plan, which is it is a 401k, where you take on all the risk. You have to contribute money. And what happens if the market goes down and you're 65 and you have no money in the account? What kind of retirement are you going to have? You got to remember, here, a 401k, that's not just a name of the plan. It is a tax code here in the United States. 401k is a tax code of our tax system. So you got to wonder if this is a government plan, to whose benefit is it? Is it to your benefit? Is it to your family's benefit? No, I don't think so. It's for them. It's for the government's benefit. It is their own plan. And they have certain regulations within that plan to benefit the government, not you. Like if you build money inside a 401k, you're going to have penalties if you want some of the money out. If you're under the age of 59 and a half, they're going to charge you 10% penalty. Think about that. And then on top of that, you're going to be taxed at the rate of maybe 20 or 30%. So if you take money out of the 401k account before you reach the age of 59 and a half, you're going to lose almost 40%. The government will take the other one, or the balance. And then when you become 72 now, they used to be 70 and a half, and you haven't started taking money out of that account, they're going to make you take it out because they can't wait to get their hands on the taxes that you haven't paid. So they're saying if you don't start taking money out systematically from your 401k, we're going to penalize you 50%, 50, of what you should have taken out. Isn't that true, Jordan?
It is, and that's, a good point to make on the 401ks as a whole. I think a lot of people got to realize that through your rest of your retirement. This goes with that common myth of, again, living on Social Security is going to be enough. That's not the case. I mean, you can't rely on just your 401k either. There's too much uncertainty with the taxes, because who's to say that taxes won't go up? I mean, we are in a debt in this country of over $25 trillion. I think it's even closer to over $26 trillion now. Something's going to have to pay for all this debt that we're in. And more than likely, that's going to be an increase in taxes. So when I get the small tax break today on a very fixed income, you're putting yourself that I'll be okay. And that's not the case. Free money, you need to build up tax-free money, and you have to look outside of the 401k. Yes, get your 401k match. Put the free money in there, get the free money from your company if they're giving you a match. Don't do anything over that though. If they're giving you 5%, only put 5%. We talked about, because it's tax-free money, it's going to allow you that ability to retire on the full check versus taking 30 or 40% off the top. Just think about that. You need to build some
Who's laughing now?
This is
It's fine. Well, if health were to change for that gentleman or for anybody that's working in their later years, we have a bigger chance of being injured or having health situations when it comes to long-term care needs. This is unpredictable. I mean, you can't predict this. And if it happens, it's going to put a huge dent in your plan and you're going to be forced to retire. And being forced to retire now, you're having to rely on, again, what little money you might have built up in your 401k and whatever social security you're able to pull from. So it goes with the theory that maybe you don't own your own business and you just want to work part time through your later years. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that are my clients and they want to work part time because they just don't want to have all that free time on their hands. They'd rather still make a little bit of money on the side. Well, that works all dandy and it works perfectly fine as long as you can find a position. I mean, a lot of people really don't realize that there really is age discrimination in this country still. As much as it's illegal and there shouldn't be any age discrimination, there really is still some age discrimination when it comes to hiring people on. And a lot of it comes with the hourly wage. Who do you think Walmart or some big corporation is going to pick if they can hire somebody at a minimum wage, fresh out of high school or fresh out of college, or for somebody who's a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more mature, who has some experience, but yet they're not going to pay for that experience. They're just going to give them minimum wage. It's a sad reality, but if it's not your health that's going to give out on you when you're in your later years, it's the possibility of not finding a position anywhere. And there's so many layoffs in today's world because of this economy, because of this COVID crisis. Many, many people that were working part time just got laid right off, and that they were the first to go. So ask yourself. I mean, you really don't want to be at the mercy of the company's thumb, where they can say, you know what, we're just not hiring on any people right now, and that puts you in a position that you have to scramble and try to figure out how you can retire comfortably. So let's put some boundaries in place, put some parameters that you can build money, build up that 401k, build up that retirement account, get yourself guaranteed paychecks aside from Social Security. And that's what we really focus on with Become the Banker. We want you to have multiple streams of income, and we show you how to do that. And by having those streams of income, you're not so reliant on other people hiring you on or your body carrying you through the rest of your life working. So that's a huge misconception we all have there. Joseph, you're still there?
I am.
Yep.
I am. Well said, and I do want to clarify one thing. We've been talking about the 401k. Here in the United States, the 401k is actually, a benefit, so-called benefit that the employers are giving employees when they go to work for them. Totally different than the guaranteed, retirement pensions that we used to have. Totally different. However, though, for those of you in the United States that are listening and you're not really working for a company, you're self-employed per se, self-employed, you can also get your own 401k. But a lot of times what the self-employed people do, they buy what they call an IRA. It's called an individual retirement account. It's an IRA, which, by the way, is another governmental tax code in the United States. It's like a 401k, but it's not given to you through an employer. You just buy it. And unfortunately, the financial advisors that I meet almost on a daily basis, they put your money at risk on an IRA, just like a 401k. They have you buy stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And by the way, they cannot guarantee anything. Let me just explain something to you real quickly before we go into break. I met a couple about 2 weeks ago, and the wife, Michelle, she was invested in an IRA with a leading financial planning firm here in Colorado. And they had her on a really high risk investment portfolio. And she was nearing the age of 60. First of all, my philosophy and my son's philosophy is one of we're conservatives. We don't want to see our clients lose any money, especially at that age. So I immediately felt, that this is not right. This is not right for her. She has all her money tied up in an IRA in the stock market, and she's nearing the age of 60, 5 years from retirement. If the market goes down, do you think she's going to have enough time to recover? No.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
That's right. So you know what? So I suggested that she should change her IRA into a safer IRA that we promote. It's called the guaranteed retirement account. Nothing to do with the stock market. So she agreed. But then guess what happened, Jordan? The advisor got a hold of her and says, "What are you doing? Changing." You know why? Because they were going to lose their commissions. That's why they called. So,
yeah, of course.
So the advisor said to her, "Why don't we have a conference call with Joseph? I'd like to talk to him to find out why he's doing that to you." So you know what? Last week, I had a conference call with the other advisor that put her money at risk. And I asked the advisor, would you be willing to sign a document right now saying that you will guarantee that Michelle will not lose any money? The advisor said, "Oh, of course I can't." That's right, because it's in the stock market. Then I said to the advisor, "Jordan, and you're going to like this." He says, would you be willing to guarantee Michelle an income for the rest of her life after the age of 65? Guess what the advisor said?
I sure said no. I couldn't do that.
No, there's no way they can guarantee. So why in the and then this advisor had the audacity to say, Michelle was on the line with us, okay? And the advisor said, "Hey, we got a similar product than what he's talking about." And then I immediately said, why didn't you sell her the product
Right.
then
Why
to
didn't you put
begin
that in
with?
there first? Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, insane. This is
Right.
what people have to worry about. This is what people have to put up with. Greedy financial advisors that don't have your interest at heart,
Right.
only confusing you, and they sell you the wrong product just so they can make more money.
Of course, and it happens all the time. It happens all the time, and we hear these stories. I mean, every day that we meet with clients, and I have a similar one where their parents, it was a husband and a wife, and the wife told me that, the mother of her, has is still alive. She's in her 80s, and before her father passed, he was pretty knowledgeable when it came into the financial arena. The father set her mother up, or his wife, up with a perfect financial plan where they're going to guaranteed income for the rest of her life if anything happened to him. That she was set up in some great annuities and IRAs that she didn't have to worry about ever checking on. It would have just paid her a lifetime income. And this is probably when she was in her 60s, 65, 66. And same situation. The father passed away. And unfortunately, my client, the daughter, she had to move away with her husband to a different state because he got employed at a different position. So she wasn't able to be there face to face with this new advisor. She had vetted through a few different advisors because she wanted to make sure that her mom was taken care of if she wasn't there right then and there. Well, what ended up happening was the new advisor ended up taking all of those accounts, that perfect financial plan that she had set up, and putting it all inside of mutual funds and stock market accounts, all of it into a brokerage account. And then, of course, the stock market crashed. This is right around the 2008 era. And her mother lost 30 to 40% of the money just like that. And it took her all up until this year to just get back to what she had before she lost all that money. I think she still said she was still down about $40,000, but they just about got even to what she had after 10 years, or actually almost 12 years of being in that position. And so it's just to show you, even when your plan is set up and it's going well, there's so many advisors that look out for their own pocketbook. And I hate to say that because it really gives a bad connotation to financial advisors, but there are some bad seeds out there. There's some bad seeds in the bunch. And unfortunately, it takes the kind of the vision or the experience for anybody that goes through that. And this is the uncertainty that our world lays on right now. So you guys need to have the ability to ask questions. And I'm talking to you listeners, you viewers, have always the ability to ask questions. You need to ask, if you're going to get a guaranteed income. That should be number one question. Are you going to get guarantees to make sure that when you do retire, there is money set in stone? You need to ask the fees. What are the fees that the advisor is making or charging you every year? I mean, with 401k fees, most people don't realize you lose about 3 to 4% in fees every year. So if you're only making 5% or 6%, and then at the end of the year they have to take their 3% right off of that, well, you're only getting 3%. I mean, that's not even beating inflation. So ask the right questions. It's okay to ask questions. If you don't know what the product is, you better ask questions. Have them explain it to you. And if they give you any just judgment or any hard comments back because they don't want to explain it to you, then you should know the answer right there, that that's not your advisor that you want to work with. They should be willing to talk to you and able to give you the information you're looking for. Because if they're not, then you know something shady's happening. And that's what you need to ask. So at Become the Banker, we always make sure that we explain to our clients everything that's going on. We have a maybe 3 or 4 meeting process so that we can, talk about it step by step, help educate them. And the best part is our clients love being with us because they can pick up the phone at any moment and call us for any financial question. Every year we meet with our clients on a yearly basis at minimum, just to review everything that we sold them and to go over the numbers. So it's just a peace of mind of knowing where your money is and what it's doing for you. And if it's too complicated to understand, then maybe you're not in the right product. Building wealth does not need to be complicated. And nowadays, I mean, I don't know what a lot of advisors do, but I know for us, we only sell simple products, simple formulas that give you guarantees and that make sense. Every client that is part of us always says, this makes sense. I wish I'd known about this sooner because this just makes sense. Where a lot of the products they already had beforehand were just way too confusing. They didn't know what to look at, what was up from down, and that's not the right product to be in. So we're going to jump away for another break here for the last part of the show. And then we'll circle back with a few more myths and misconceptions just to kind of help fill out the rest of the show here. So we thank you for listening again. This is Joseph and Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker, and you are listening to Inspired Choices Network. We'll talk to you here soon.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. For years, I've been telling you about a safe, secure investment that you can do for as little as $200 a month. Earnings grow tax-free. And better than that, during this recent stock market crash, they did not lose a penny. Even though investments hit all-time lows, those involved in Become the Banker are still earning their guaranteed return of 4% tax-free plus a 1% dividend. Isn't it time you at least investigate and possibly become the banker yourself? In a nutshell, you overfund life insurance on purpose to build tax-sheltered cash for retirement and for loaning to yourself for life's needs and pleasures, college, credit card debt, a mortgage. They can all be paid when you become the banker. Do yourself a favor. At least find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org. For the next webinar, that's BecomeTheBanker.org. And for a video review, BecomeTheBanker.info. It's time to take action and stop your losses. BecomeTheBanker.org.
This is the Become the Banker Show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask or comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the last section of the show. And I think what we're going to have to do is maybe finish up this segment next week as well, because we have a lot of things to share with you. But I do want to mention that we had somebody in the chat room just sent us a chat saying that she worked as a financial advisor right out of college. Think about that. Selling mutual funds, life insurance, etc. And she said, I quit after 2 years because I didn't like their sales strategy. And I couldn't get comfortable with their expectations on how I closed the sale. It was a shame. I found their strategy far too aggressive and intimidating. Ladies and gentlemen, that is so true. That's 100% true of what we're seeing in today's world with financial advisors. Again, they don't have the best interest of the client at heart. On the other hand, our philosophy with Become the Banker, just like my son said, we are maybe far too conservative because we don't believe in having our clients lose any money. You know, from the very beginning of the radio show here, when we started, I shared with you my story. I share with you that I came from Mexico City and I came from very humble economic beginnings. So to me, keeping money safe is a total priority. So I have built my practice with my son on a very conservative philosophy. And that philosophy is that we're only going to promote safe, guaranteed money strategies and safe and guaranteed products that can only grow people's money, not lose them. Don't you agree with that, Jordan?
Absolutely. And just the point to that late to the comment that you just read off. I mean, it's not even the advisor's fault sometimes. Just like the individual, it's the firm, because like the firm requires them to make so many sales in a month, and requires them that they have to, kind of be a hard sale, sell it fast, sell it quick, don't spend too much time with one individual, because it's all about the bottom line a lot of times for those. So it's unfortunate that, again, it goes to say that, not only is it just advisors, that sometimes may be greedy, but a lot of times it's their business they work for, the firm that requires them to be like that. And that's unfortunate, because it really paints a bad picture even for the advisor themselves, because then they don't want to be in that arena anymore. So spot on.
Absolutely. And I want to leave, we're getting close to the end of the show, but I want to leave you with a question that you need to answer for yourselves, okay? How much money, how much money, excuse me, can you afford to lose? How much money really can you afford to lose? Do you like to lose money? I mean, think about it. If you say to yourselves, you know what, I don't want to lose any money, then you're going to have to find a financial planning firm with the same philosophy, a firm and a financial advisor that shares your philosophy, that shares your belief, and shares the strategy that you don't want to lose any money. If you find somebody like that, hang on to that person, hang on to that company, because then you know that they have your best interest at heart. Now, this is the end of the show, but I want you to know that we have only uncovered the tip of the iceberg, because next week we're going to delve into some specific products, some specific strategies to help you. This is Joseph Quijano along with my son Jordan. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Become the Banker radio show. Certified financial planner Joseph Quijano will return next Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Until then,